spirited students of Fillmore High in Head of the Class. First, there are some rum goings-on in the kitchen, where we find those perpetual teenagers, Hudson and Halls.
Everyone at home, welcome and thanks for joining us
again. Your curtains look lovely.
Three things we're going to do.
We're going to do three lovely things for a rice pudding, which is absolutely super-duper special, a very special pastry that has marvellous keeping qualities, and a gâteau roi.
King cake.
When I say it's a gâteau roi.
King cake. And our guest on this show is the wonderful, very talented and brilliant Leslie Crowther.
Wouldn't you know it?
I don't know why I say it like that. I've never met him.
Can I have... Haven't you?
He's lovely.
Could I please, wardrobe, have jacket next time with no sleeves in it? They're inside out again, Charles, if you happen to be watching. We're going to start firstly on this supreme rice dessert, and it really is something very, very special. I'll just start this first, and I'll tell you about the rice afterwards. What are you doing down there? You late? I've put into here about a quarter cup of butter. I'm adding to this 3/4 of a cup of granulated... Oh, you're joking. Granulated sugar. Oh, I'd see. What did I tell you, David? Nothing would go right.
It's not my side.
What I'm doing is I'm going to caramelise this over a medium heat because this is going to come in and be an integral part of the rice. I'll just turn this up a fraction and I'll uncover this. Now, this is rice, and naturally, what I did with it, it was 1 cup of rice that I washed extremely well till the water really did run absolutely pure. Put it back into the saucepan, covered with more water, touch of salt, brought it to the boil and cooked it for about 3 minutes only and drained it immediately. Now, this is very, very important that it's par cooked. Put it back in the same saucepan, added 3 cups of cold milk, very carefully brought it back to the boil, and I've been timing this twice. I've done it today. And over a moderate heat, I used the large jet here on a moderate heat. It took about 10 minutes. Just keep stirring it, and eventually you come out with that where the rice has absorbed all the milk. It's still slightly wet. That doesn't matter, slightly creamy, because I'm going... Oh, I've forgotten about this, haven't I, while I was talking? And what I'm now going to do, if I have time, is just bring this butter and sugar down to a caramel, which is going into the rice with other things. Thank you for your time. I'm having a drink. And we're cooking with rum tonight, so I'm drinking it.
Quite right, Peter, quite right. Now, all I've done...
Who put James?
Is it a good one? Is it
last me for the rest of the week.
We're off there showing out 5 minutes, so don't worry. If you see me go... You don't often see me drink. You see me have a little sip of wine, a little sip of red, sometimes a little sip of white. But rum and coke is my tipple, I'm afraid. And if I get into that and I have one of those, I might have to have a refill. However, don't be jealous. You can have one when we're all finished.
Oh, no, you won't.
I want it for the cake. Now, all we did is just juice the juice from an orange and also now from lemon. Now, if you get lemons and they are not too juicy, if you put them in the oven for a little while so that they're warm, and then when they've been warm, just roll them backwards and forwards, and they will actually give you more juice than just taking them out of somewhere cold like the fridge. So it's the juice of an orange and the juice of a lemon to give this a lovely acid, fruity flavour, this rice pudding, and it really is a very special rice pudding.
Melt.
What's the matter? Oh, I told you to put it on. What did I say, Pete? Put it on before you start. Put it on before you start. Let it melt. What did you say? No, I won't. Otherwise, it'll be finished in a few minutes. Or you can get on with it. Because there you are. There's your orange juice and your lemon juice.
You and your guest are enough to be going to be too much to cope with tonight.
No, I'm not.
Have you got more to say normally? That's
not
the
really,
orange
no.
juice and lemon juice.
No, I'll just have a little quick sip.
Well, talk
Cheers,
for once.
everybody. Why? What are you doing
It
on?
won't caramelise at the moment. Just keep talking
Well,
for
shove
once.
the other stuff in it. No one's going to know we're not using that one.
I am, actually.
We never normally do. Come on, get on with it. We ain't got all night.
Can't you do... Have you greased the... buttered the ramekins?
No, I haven't.
Shut your mouth for once.
With the egg whites.
Exactly.
When Peter's finished this, you take 2
wrong with
egg
you?
whites And just beat them up now. If you haven't got a... I hope you can hear about this. I'll put it down lower. If you haven't got a copper bowl and you're using a glass bowl, then cut a lemon in half and rub the inside of the glass bowl with it, and you will actually get it to the egg whites to whip up higher.
Keep talking.
Now,
When
they're to that stage like that, put into that a third of a cup of sugar, caster sugar this is, put about half of that in and beat it. You're making a light meringue to go on the top of these. Now, we use caster sugar because if you use ordinary granulated sugar, it doesn't incorporate into the egg whites as much. And you can always tell when it's really incorporated.
The sugar has come down there to that nice golden brown you can see there. It's amalgamating. Now, I'm just going to add to this the juice of the lemon and the orange that David did me. You'll find it'll hiss, and you'll also find it'll go caramelly all of a sudden. But just keep it on the heat for a moment to let it soften up. You're really making a sort of backwards praline without the
backwards
nuts.
Praline? And then
You know what I mean.
Now, this is when you beat it up like this, meringue, it's easier and you get more volume when you use a big whip like this.
Turn again. Sorry. Now, into this rice that's taken up the milk there, tip in this caramel very quickly.
Very nice.
Now, what should happen to that, stir this to make sure it's very well mixed, then that's meant to cool, to totally right down, and then you add to it 2 tablespoons of dark rum, which is very important, but it must be added cool, but I'm going to add it hot tonight because I haven't got enough for what I'm making.
Right. Mark it on.
Which figures you can get on now.
As I've said, caster sugar, egg whites, and you can tell when the sugar's dissolved because
I'll show you the
if you
consistency in a minute.
If you rub the mixture between your forefinger and thumb, you will feel no sugar at all. So when you get to that stage, you know it's ready. Now, also, the other way that actually proves that it is ready is when you can hold it upside down and it won't fall out, you see?
I wish it would.
Now, lightly butter some ramekins, which I'm going to do now.
Clap
and
anything.
You can do small ones.
Clap anything, they would. They said,
they're sweet, they're kind.
Come to Liverpool, they'll clap anything. Just smile and they'll give you a round of applause. Lovely people. This is the consistency I'm talking about that should be. It looks gluggy, but it's meant to be because it's going to be rebaked again. But you don't worry, comes up like that.
Well, fill your ramekins, please.
Yes, sir.
While I do my whippy, me thing in here.
Third of the rice into these little ramekins. We're going to put some... Sounds like your teeth chattering.
Mine are real. Oh, I should say mine are my own.
Next programme. Tune in, everybody. As Bette Davis said, it'll be a bumpy ride. You're going to do anything?
Yes, I will in a minute. Let me get this thing in here.
Some very good apricot conserve.
These are all right, these things. They're very all right, but when you've only got one hand, it's very hard to get all the stuff out.
About a dessert spoon of good apricot conserve in the middle, so that's 1/3 of the rice, 1/3 of this apricot conserve.
Right.
Or confiture, if you like, if you're French inclined. Just push it slightly over to the edges like this.
Oh, you've only done 3?
I haven't time to do the others, have I?
No one I know, Pete. No one I know.
And just give me some more of the rice over there, would you please?
The hot one.
Mm-hmm. You should, as I say, do this with cold. You'll see why, because David's
it's too sloppy.
I will do one then. Slow up.
No, you have to do... Well, do a bit of hot
The
on it,
reason, if
doesn't
you'd
matter.
shut up for just half a minute while you're using a cold, apart from anything, is Dave's going to pipe meringues on it. That lady's so interested there in the white. She's listened to everything I've said. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it.
Right,
I need the company.
Quickly.
But if you were piping the meringues on the top of the hot rice, as you'll see, of course, the meringues will already melt.
No, it won't.
But Mr. Know-All knows it all, so do them as you want. There you are.
There you are. So what you do then is just pipe them like this.
Right,
Now, you
hand
can
it
make
to
one
this.
large one, but it's better to make small individual ones
Rice
per
pudding.
person.
Oh, yes.
And it will make about 6 of these. And then after you've done that, you pop them... Oh, it's gone all crinkly. Oh, I haven't covered this one. Not those. We've got 2 larger ones, actually, in the oven. Now, you bake those off, so Peter's going to explain how long you bake them for.
Preheated oven, 160 degrees Celsius, and they cook for 20 minutes. You might just get a peep in there They're just doing nicely. They're coming up to a golden brown.
Right, we're not going to bake those because those ones, as Peter said, are ready. But anyway, we promised you something from our guests. So would you please give a warm welcome to a gentleman who's been on the boards, he's been everywhere.
Yes.
But he's going to tell you something about his past experiences when he was actually in panto. Here he is, Leslie Crowther.
Hello. It's like Sunday night at the London Palladium, this, isn't it? It's marvellous, I love it. Con and I have been having a chat. This is Con, by the way. And this is Dave 1. This is Dave 2. I'm Les 1. And we've been talking about pantomime, and there's no doubt about it that one of the things that we pros really look forward to is appearing in pantomime. Well, nearly all of us. Listen to this old actor laddie. While wandering through Leicester Square, last week I met an old-time friend who told me of the village where our childhood days we used to spend. Give my love to Mom, I said, tell her I'm in a West End show. The bookings stretch for weeks ahead, but there's one thing she must not know. Don't tell my mother I'm half of a horse in a panto, for that would break my mother's heart. She knows I'm on the stage, she thinks I'm all the rage. I've told her that I play a leading part. She thinks I'm a John Gielgud, I know that makes her feel good. Never let her know that I'm a sham. And if she learns in due course that I'm half of a horse in a panto, don't tell her which half I am. Well, it's not so bad, really, I suppose, when you're in the skin of the part, pardon the expression. The person in front faces the same way as the person behind, which is rather jolly. The person behind faces the behind of the person in front, which is not so jolly. They say you'll have to go, dear, and then we'll let you know, dear, when we're doing a commercial for ham. So if my mum in due course learns I'm half of a horse in a panto, don't tell her which half I am.
Leslie Crowther. Leslie, if you'd just like, there's a bucket and spade there if you'd like to clean up out the back.
Who said
and
he
join
was the
us in
back
the kitchen.
end?
I didn't. I just said he'd clean up out the back. Get on with your cake.
Right. Now, this cake, this king cake, is very simply
Very
flaky
special.
pastry with a very simple filling, actually. And the simple, it's so simple, even Peter can do it. Truly, this is true, isn't it, Peter? So we just get a little pastry and roll some pastry out to a disc.
All your hot air.
Right, which I've already pre-done because it does get hot, and just put that onto a plate like that, and then roll out another one the same size. This is just a lightly buttered plate, oven-proof plate. You got the filling for it?
No, I haven't yet. I'm waiting for you to finish.
Right.
Now, we're making the filling. The filling, again, is very special. This is a very easy cake and extremely rich. Thank you, Robin. 75 grams I have here of ground almonds. Gets cross when I do that, so Robin, I've seen the cards. Thank you. Now I've got 10 minutes. 75 grams of caster sugar. Gets furious. He goes, look, it's bright red.
Come on.
Matches his shirt. 75 grams of butter, so that's 75 grams of butter, 75 grams of caster sugar,
75 grams
and
of each.
75 grams of ground almonds. We're just making this into a light paste, which is not
3
going to come
ounces
off
of
the
each.
spoon. About, 4 drops of almond essence, which went a bit ory then, and 2 tablespoons, I said we were cooking with rum, 2 tablespoons of dark rum, or you can use brandy if you wish.
Well, get it mixed together because it's got to go in and then be baked.
What's wrong with your mouth?
Nothing. Well, I'm just trying to tell you to hurry up and get it together.
Well, I'll tell you something, David. You get the butter off my spoon and you're
Well, just
welcome.
go flonk like that. That's it. I lied. It's not simple for him to make. It's difficult. Nice, is it? Got it done?
I had about 25 minutes, yes. I've got to get all this incorporated.
I know,
It's
well-
all very well you sit over there, you've got nothing to do.
I know.
And you hassle me. Just
know.
get this. It
Don't do
almost
it
comes
like
down
that.
like an almond. I'm doing it my way, the simple way, like all my friends understand. It comes out virtually like an almond paste there.
True, true,
Tip
true.
this in the middle. And my hands are spotlessly clean because I'm going to have to use every bit I want.
Well, don't you
You
be
don't
coming in
help.
here full.
You'll be coming round the mountain. Just spread this. Could you help me? I didn't intend to have this bit in the.
It's quite simple. It'll melt a bit.
It'll
when it
melt
goes in
across,
the
but
thing.
you've got to get it evenly distributed.
Shut up laughing around the back, 'cause I'll kick him when they come in.
Keep
Go to the
cleaning.
back of a horse, you won't even be the front of a horse when you get in here.
Keep cleaning up the
Just
back.
do that, and
Right,
then
put
just
a top
put
on
a
it.
top on it like this, same size, and then press all the way around to make sure that
Right.
it's well sealed.
Slit it. Where's the knife to slit?
Oh,
Here we
I
are.
don't know.
Just cut some.
Well, wait until I've
still.
finished.
Just cut some
Slits in it.
slits in it
That's
like
right,
that.
that'll do. Now just
It
brush
looks
it
funny.
very...
Where do you see the end result of
Brush
this?
it. I'll
Quite
show you in a minute
astounding.
what it looks like partially. Brush it very liberally with beaten egg, and then after you've finished brushing it with the egg,
Well, after?
you then pop onto that about 3 tablespoons of again caster sugar, quite liberally. Pop that in the fridge and leave it there for about 20 minutes, and then heat your oven and pop it
The
in the
idea
oven.
is you're using a flaky pastry or puff pastry. The cold against the heat makes the pastry rise up. Preheated oven, 200 degrees Celsius, and it bakes for about 40 minutes. Now, we've been baking it off, and the 30-minute mark, it was actually getting too brown.
So what we
covered
did
it
was
with tin
put some
foil.
foil. Now
I
this
told
is
them.
the size that it goes in at, and that's how it puffs up like that. You can see. Ah! Oh, you see, it really does.
Naturally, if you bake
It's got
it.
nothing to do with me. It's the pastry that did it, not me. At least I filled this one properly. In actual fact, I didn't. I put the egg inside the mixture, and it went so sloppy. I had to do
I'm
it
glad at
differently.
least you're honest.
But,
at
yes, I know,
times.
but I put a little bit of extra flour
Is-
and a tiny touch of thingo in it.
You're getting on with the rest now? You're getting on with what I told them about, the 5 pounds of pastry you're going to make?
Strong.
With the show will be over in a minute.
Oh, don't go on.
Leslie's
Well, you
cleaning
with
up.
your old butter and stuff. 1
I could do
3/4
3
pounds
minutes,
of plain flour. All right, goes in there. Plus, now this pastry was given to us by a lady on television, on radio in New Zealand quite some time ago. She's 80 years old. If I'm here all night sifting this, it's sifted. We'll be here all night. Then that was a pound of caster sugar actually, and then onto that goes 1/4 pound of corn flour, and then also
Well
you
beaten.
add to that. What do you mean they've all eaten?
I said, well beaten, the eggs.
Yes. 4 teaspoons of baking powder. Now you should sift this all together in a very large bowl, as I said. And then also just a pinch of salt.
you,
That's
Lord.
the easiest bit. Mix that around like that. Then what we add to that is a pound of butter. Now the reason for making this, it makes a good 4 pound of pastry. And you know when you make pastry, you make a little bit for a recipe, and then you want to make another recipe, and you have to get all the stuff out and do it all again. Well, in this instance, you don't have to bother, because what happens with this, once it's actually made, you can either wrap it up and
You
keep it
stick
in
it
the
in his
fridge.
mouth and jam
Shut
his
up! I'm trying to explain to these people. You told me to talk, then when I do, you told me to shut up. You just put all this together. It makes about 4 pounds.
Thank you, Robin.
And then, I've got paper in it as well. And then when you've actually mixed that together, as I say, you can
5
cut it up
minutes.
into half-pound pieces. Leslie, come and give us a hand. 5-pound pieces.
Sorry.
I knew it would, mate. You have an
All
elbow.
right. God, if I knew World War III was going to start, I
How
wouldn't
about,
have
how
done it.
about Perrier and
Thank
whatever,
you very much.
and your
Bless your
good
heart.
heart to you. Thank
Oh,
you
it's
for coming.
lovely.
It's
Thank
lovely
you.
to have you
Cheers.
with us.
Just beat the egg. Oh, you've done
It's
those.
lovely. Now, you've sorted out your differences,
Yes,
have you?
yes. Actually,
Yes.
I was going to ask you about food. You've got an aversion to some of the food we're cooking, haven't you?
Absolutely.
All of it.
All of it.
All of it
In
today.
point of fact, yes, you're doing something with rice, aren't you? And,
Yeah.
well, I can't stand that.
Isn't it
Why?
lovely?
Well,
I'm reading
it's
a
all...
note about you. Excuse me to interrupt you.
Oh,
but you're
not
only
at
our
all.
guest. And it says, hates rice, loathes it to distraction. The only thing you think worse than rice is rice with jam on it. What have I just done? And he's come for dinner? You're going to be hungry.
I know I am, I know. Well, the reason is, basically, is it was all down to school dinners.
Yeah.
And we used to have rice, which we used to call sick. And when it had jam on it, we called it road accident.
Thank you so much.
So it's just...
please.
Oh, the eggs, certainly. I'll do the eggs.
You can give me the
Can't I be in a
eggs.
bit? I'll do the eggs. Oh, lovely. Thank you very much.
Make them well in the centre. Yeah, just
Oh,
knock them in the
lovely.
middle there for
Yes,
me.
school had
In there, right.
finished.
Yeah, right.
Oh, look, I've got stuff all over your sleeve.
Oh, I
You're
don't
joking.
know.
You
The bill. Hang on, wait a minute. There we are. That'll do.
Right.
Lovely.
Right. Well played.
Actually, on the way up here, I was thinking about food as one does. It seemed the right thing to do. And in the aeroplane, I suddenly remember an old gag, a smashing old joke, about this aeroplane that lands at the airport, right? And the co-pilot turns around to the pilot and says, what's the first thing you're going to do now we've landed? And the pilot says, not knowing that the intercom's not been switched off, he says, well, the first thing I'm going to do is to have a plate of English sausages, which I've been missing dreadfully. The second thing I'm going to do is to make mad passionate love to that blonde air hostess, right? So it goes right through the length and breadth of the aircraft, this noise. And the blonde air hostess at the back goes, oh my God, drops the tea things and rushes forward to prevent him saying anything else incriminating, falls flat on her face, base over apex, and the little old lady bent down to pick her up and said, there's no need to hurry, dear, he hasn't had his sausages yet. It's lovely, isn't it? Now, can I help in any way?
Well, actually, I was going to
Here we are.
get you
Look
to...
at that. Look at that. Look at that. Here we are. There you go. Look at that. Round of applause for a very clever joke.
Oh, gosh, that's good, isn't it?
Excellent.
And he didn't move his mouth either.
No,
which is
you don't have to with a gag like that.
Is that pastry coming together, or are you just going to
No,
talk
I'm
it?
just going to leave it. It's too hot.
It is.
I can't bother doing it
Please
anymore.
explain it.
Do you want the rest of the
Actually,
egg?
what you do is when you've got that light, keep that cool.
it is an awful
knead
lot
it,
of
keep
amount.
it cool. Do it up in little bits, and then wrap it in that cling filmy stuff. You know that
Yes.
sheer stuff.
Yes, I do.
Wrap it in that, and then you either keep it in the fridge for up to 7 days, or you can put it in the freezer for up to 3
To
months.
be fair,
And it
I'm not
won't
often fair to him.
discolour.
It won't discolour.
Yes,
No.
this is
Does he
right.
always talk over you
Yes,
like
he
that?
does, actually.
It's frightening, isn't it?
Also, too lazy. Look,
Want
there's
dinner?
Get that out of there, please.
Get that out of this.
Yes, there's a thing. There's one of those things already
One of those
cooked.
things.
I'll just go
Yeah,
on and
this.
say, seriously, the pastry's making an awful amount.
Right,
Just
I'll
keep
get
getting
this
it
out
till
of
it's a
here.
ball, divide it in 3, wrap it in cling wrap, glad wrap, or whatever you call it, and put it in the freezer
There
and
we
it
are,
keeps
look at that.
superbly.
Will it go on that? Will it
Yeah.
go
Gosh,
on?
you've done
it's all
well.
right. That's-
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Oh, just a little thing I
Squash
ran
that
up,
bit.
you know.
And look at my lovely bits. Look.
Oh, don't they look good?
claggy
And is that
everywhere.
really
This
rice?
is really rice. Honestly,
Under these?
just rice.
Almost looks edible.
Now I've got to cut the. Would you mind
isn't
cutting
it?
a wedge of that?
A
for me?
wedge, I certainly will cut a wedge.
Yeah, it's decent size.
Decent
not-
size.
Yeah, you
Cut the
what I
flat
mean.
side.
Yeah, hold that.
Yeah, hold
Get
this.
the towel off there. You've got towels everywhere, you lot. Cut a wedge.
I'm
and put
only
it on there.
doing my best, David.
Nice because they can see inside it.
Oh, right. How about
That's the
that?
whole principle of it.
Okay.
Yep. Oh,
Don't make a mess of it. Another left-hander.
That's right.
We've got so many left-handers.
Goddamn.
around
Hold
this
the
show,
plate,
you know.
hold the plate,
Hold the plate, hold the plate. Right, oh, yep.
Hold the pie.
Yes,
And
hold the
plate.
pie and the plate.
No, you didn't cut it through. You didn't cut it through. We're running out of time.
We are, we're all
Yeah,
right.
look out.
Keep going, though. Why are they doing that? There we
Oh,
are.
we're not going to eat that bit.
Oh,
Blow
no.
on it.
Blow on it.
I will.
There we are.
That's it.
Go on, go through. Go
Go
through.
through.
All right,
Oh,
dear.
we take
There
it.
we are. Look at that.
It'll kill you.
We'll take you
won't.
anywhere.
Well, go on, go through. We'll do it.
You go through. I'll go through.
Isn't this wonderful? Oh, my George.
Blow the crumbs off.
This is all right, this, isn't it?
Get the crumbs off.
Describe
Now,
it.
you see, here we have these meringues, very simple, and they really are. You can pre-prepare them the day before and then meringue them and bake them off. And then you've done
And then
that.
just that with the almonds in the centre and the butter and the sugar. It's absolutely delicious. Oh, just before we go, if you'd like a complete set of the recipes we're featuring in this series, send a large self-addressed stamped envelope with a 30p stamp on it to Hudson Halls PO Box 7, that's London W36XJ.
Excellent.
Sorry to haven't got much
Thank you so
time.
much.
That's all right, my dear.
At least we did you some lovely strawberries and
you
fresh
certainly
Devon
did.
cream there.
Oh,
for you.
it's
Our
sensational.
lovely
Audience here,
audience as
thank you very
usual
much
here.
indeed for coming.
And
If
you
you're
at
at
home,
home,
extra
thank you for
special.
looking in.
God
We'll see you
bless you.
soon. Bye-bye.
Very much. I love it.